This office safety orientation will be divided into two basic parts. First, general safety rules and regulations, and second, policies and procedures for an on-the-job injury or accident. The rules and regulations contained in this orientation are not optional, but are a condition of employment. Remember that this company has gone to great expense and effort to provide you a safe environment in which to work. Also, they've gone to great expense in providing workers' compensation insurance for you in the event there is an on-the-job accident or injury. Office safety and workers' compensation procedures are extremely important in any company because you may be working at different locations under different supervision. It's very important to comply with these general rules as well as any specific job site safety rules to ensure the safety of yourself and your co-workers. This orientation only covers general policies and procedures. However, before you begin any job, specific safety practices and procedures that pertain to a particular location or client will be covered in detail. Please remember that your failure to follow any safety practice, rule, or regulation may lead to your immediate termination. Office injuries are preventable, but it requires good safety awareness and cooperation on the part of all office personnel and management. Falls, lifting injuries, repetitive strains, small cuts, all office injuries can be prevented. We certainly can't cover all the things necessary for safety, nor can we list all the hazards. However, we have selected some of the more common hazards and prevention techniques to help you achieve an injury-free office environment. Falling onto a walking surface is the #1 cause of disabling office injuries. As with all injury prevention, your safety awareness and attitude are the most important factors. If you're paying attention to where you're walking, standing, and sitting, and take safety seriously, you're less likely to experience a fall. When walking up or down stairs, always hold the handrail. In the event you do trip or slip, your hand on the rail will prevent the actual fall. When you're reaching over your head, use only approved step stools and ladders. Using a chair, box, or any other makeshift ladder is unacceptable. How about the parking lot access? Quite often the walking surfaces are uneven or may have gravel or oil on the surface. That's the time to really be aware of where you're going because it doesn't take much to slip and fall, which could cause a sprained ankle or other injury. Another safety precaution is to dress for safety. If you wear high heels, make sure they're comfortable walking height. If you must wear sandals or open-toed shoes, they should be worn with care. If you're working near moving parts of any type, avoid wearing gloves, rings, bracelets, long sleeves, and of course protect long hair by a cap or net. Be careful that neckties, front apron strings, etc. do not get caught in machinery, especially paper shredders. Try to be more safety conscious than fashion conscious. The next type of injury that can be prevented by becoming informed and applying that information is lifting or back injuries. The first rule of thumb is you must lift safely every time you lift anything, no matter how small or lightweight the object you're lifting. The lesson to learn here is you want to keep the discs between your vertebrae as level as possible, so these discs won't be pinched. If you bend your back, you're pinching those discs and putting a lot of pressure on one side of the disc. If you do this enough with excessive strain, your disc can become damaged. When you're bending using your legs, you're keeping the discs properly lined between the bones. There are many other tips to use when lifting anything, and some include not stretching when you lift anything. In unusual lifting environments, use your legs or hands for extra support. Perhaps the most important safety tip is don't lift anything you believe may be too heavy, and always pay attention to how your discs are lined up between the vertebrae. Of course, it goes without saying that you need to exercise and keep your body in good condition. A healthy back can take a lot of punishment, but even fit bodybuilders can experience a lifting injury if they don't follow these simple practices. Take the time to think about your back and lift safely each and every time you lift anything. Bumping into a door, desk, file cabinets, open drawers, and even other people can cause injuries. Perhaps you know of these injuries from experience or have seen it happen to someone else. Open file drawers can cause some nasty injuries on the sharp corners. Always close file drawers after you've finished using them, especially if you're going to work elsewhere or leave the area. A couple more tips on file cabinets. Watch your fingers when closing drawers, and never open two drawers at the same time. The weight of two drawers can cause the cabinet to tip over. Broken equipment should be reported when it's noticed, so it can be repaired before it causes an injury. About 11% of office injuries are caused by objects striking people. This includes office machines and equipment dropped on feet, objects falling off cabinets and storage areas, and items dropped when moved from one place to another. When people get caught in or between objects, injuries occur. Office workers have experienced a wide variety of these types of injuries, such as getting fingers caught in duplicating machines, copying machines, addressing machines, and fans. Several have been injured by getting their fingers under the knife edge of paper cutters. Be sure to leave all paper cutters in the down position when you're finished using it. Quite often, aisle space is cluttered with boxes and other items. Be sure all walkways and walking surfaces are unobstructed. All the things we've discussed so far have been common sense. Nothing exotic, no great secrets revealed, just basic safety awareness. That's what safety's all about anyway. Learning what the potential hazards are and how to avoid injuries. Cooperation on the part of all employees is the most important ingredient in any safety program. Now let's take a look at video display terminals. The VDT is today's multi-purpose desktop. It's quickly replacing the typewriter, calculator, telephone, filing cabinet, and other office workhorses. When we're talking about VDTs, or repetitive motion, we must mention ergonomics. Ergonomics is the study of how people interact with the work environment. Every individual and working situation is different, and not every factor in the workplace can be changed. But with planning and innovation, almost every working environment can be made efficient and comfortable. Good posture is essential for your comfort and well-being, especially when sitting several hours a day. To prevent neck and back strain, keep your spine and head upright and set well back into the chair. Placing your feet on a footrest helps take the strain off your legs and back. Correct hand and wrist placement are important. Shoulder muscles can become tense when arms and hands are held too high. Hold arms comfortable at your side, with your upper arm and forearm at about a right angle. Wrists should be in line with the forearm, and wrist problems can develop if they are bent at extreme angles. Good eye care can help prevent visual problems. Focusing at close range for long periods of time can sometimes cause blurred vision or eye soreness. To lessen the strain on eye muscles, keep your VDT screen at least 18 to 22 inches from your eyes. It's a good idea to take eye breaks every now and then. Simple eye exercises every 20 minutes can make the difference. Changing your focus is another way to give your eye muscles a chance to relax. Good lighting is very important. Reduce glare by pulling drapes or repositioning your VDT screen. You and your supervisor may consider other options such as hoods, glare screens, or special lighting. Lighting should be directed so that it does not shine into the operator's eyes when the operator is looking at the screen. If you experience headaches or eye strains, it's always best to have your eyes examined. Periodic eye exams can determine if you need glasses. If you experience a problem with your office equipment, report it to your service so the problem can be investigated and perhaps eliminated. There aren't very many hazardous chemicals in office environments, but there are some. The famous bottle of liquid eraser used to be very hazardous. You could smell it every time you used it, but they've recently changed to a non-toxic, non-hazardous formula. However, there may be other chemicals in the workplace that require your attention when using, storing, handling, and disposing of the material, copy machine toner, laser printer chemicals, equipment lubrication, sprays, cleaning materials, pest control chemicals. Even some of the marking pens contain materials that may be hazardous to your health if used improperly. The same advice should be used for the chemicals in your home. If you're not sure about a chemical, ask your supervisor for assistance. Any hazardous chemical information will be given to you specific to your job site. Your personnel or temporary help service is your employer. They provide you with workers' compensation insurance. It's very important that they be notified in the event of an on-the-job injury. Notification of any injury or accident is important to you and for your employer in order to comply with the law. This will also help you to get treated properly and back to work. Whenever you're put on assignment, the client at which you're working will also know these procedures and will help you follow this process. Unless it is an emergency, it's your responsibility to contact your personnel or temporary help service, in particular your company representative, and let them know of your injury. They will then coordinate with the client and yourself to ensure proper treatment and help you get back to work. Never assume someone else has contacted your employer or company representative. Even if it is an emergency, as soon as you're able, please make sure that your employer, in this case the temporary help company, has been informed of your injury. Once your company representative has been notified of an injury or accident, they can coordinate with you and your client to ensure that you receive prompt treatment at a clinic or physician, unless, of course, it is an emergency. They will begin filling out an injury report. For your protection, it is important that you cooperate with them in this process. In most cases, a representative will meet you at the clinic or hospital, or will even take you to the clinic or physician if necessary. A thorough investigation and report will always be completed on every injury. Also, you have signed an authorization and consent form for a drug screen in the event that you are involved in an on-the-job injury or accident. This drug screen is a normal part of our policies and procedures regarding on-the-job injuries and accidents. Your company representative will ensure you receive the best medical treatment and are back to work as quickly as possible. Light duty or back-to-work programs have been created by this company to ensure they'll be able to accommodate any restrictions or limitations if you're not released for full duty. Lightly modified or restricted duty. This is one more way your employer is helping you get back to work as quickly as possible without losing any time or compensation. As a review, please remember, report an accident or on-the-job injury immediately, no matter how insignificant it may seem. If you wait a day or even a weekend, the compensability of the injury or claim may be in question. In order to receive the full benefit of our safety and workers' compensation policies and procedures, you must inform us immediately in the event of an on-the-job accident or injury. Safety is a team effort, and you're the most important part of the safety program. Thank you.